Cold outreach is probably one of the most overrated strategies to get clients in the entirety of 2025. And I suffered under that myself until I realized that there was an easier way to work less, get more clients that paid me more, trusted me more, and also worked with me for longer. I don't want to make this seem like it's some unique mechanism that's going to 3x your entire income in a few weeks, but I hop on calls with Iman Ghazi and his C-suite team every once in a while, and a strict rule that Iman has is that he's not allowed to work for 4 months in a year, and that's also the reason why he makes so much money. The entire notion that you need to work for 12 hours a day in order to make money and just pop vitamin D pills so that you don't go insane is absolute BS, and it's outdated. That's literally the perfect blueprint to waste your entire 20s and look back in absolute regrets, no matter how much money you make. And don't get me wrong, you can't sit at home and do cold outreach or throw shit at the wall with ads and just see what sticks until you actually get your first few clients. That's how I did it. I did cold outreach, I did cold DMs and cold emails, and it worked. I got my first few clients, but I lost the joy in life. I got rejected, I got insulted, I got blocked every single day. I didn't even enjoy that work. And I was extremely unhealthy. My face was bloated. I got social anxiety because I was just sitting at home all day, up until the point where my friends and family approached me and talked to me and asked me like, Tolu, are you okay? And I got invited by my friends less and less because I wasn't fun to be around anymore. And I thought it was necessary because everybody on social media told me that it was. But it wasn't. And the day I started traveling and went out there and had a social life and met people was actually the day that I started earning more. I got more clients, the clients liked me more, trusted me more, stayed for longer, and paid me more. I never had the lonely chapter. I have a lot of people around me and a great social life, and these people are genuinely good, wholehearted people who supported me all the way and are way more ahead of me and make more money than me and teach me everything that they know. And that's the biggest leverage that I have against others at my age who work themselves to death but still make less money than me. And ever since I go on dates every once in a while, I make more money than I made before. Because fuck, why not? Don't let anybody tell you that you're supposed to stay away from women because they're going to distract you from your business. That's cope. There's so many beautiful and supportive women out there who will believe more in you than you believe in yourself. And approaching a girl at a coffee shop for 30 seconds whilst you're waiting for the barista to prepare your coffee is not going to kill your momentum. The same men who tell you to neglect women in your 20s are the same men who end up in their late 30s eye-fucking some barely legal 19-year-old girl from a corner in some club in Monaco. Because they're still playing catch-up. Because they're looking back to their 20s in absolute regret. If you ever went to some expensive club in Europe or Cape Town or Bali, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't want to be 78 and the only stories that you can tell your grandchildren is how you added another million to your 50 million. Now, how do we get clients without being a 37-year-old creep? I want you to become a literal client magnet. Becoming a client magnet is actually a framework that I built for myself because I was depressed. I wanted to get clients and I wanted to scale my business, but I knew that sitting at home and doing cold outreach all day is not in my nature and it's not in yours, because otherwise you would have clicked away from this video already because you would have been fine with doing cold outreach. No, I want you to stop doing cold outreach and I want you to instead focus on helping people to build a positive reputation for yourself that's gonna spread like a wildfire. So much so that getting clients actually just becomes a byproduct of becoming the most giving and generous person for everybody around you. When they say that there is a law of attraction or a law of vibrations, this is exactly what they mean. Now, the first step is actually to meet the right people in real life who need your help. And you do that by visiting the right places for 4 months of the year in which you don't work, or work just becomes your third priority. Now, there are a lot of places that you can visit that are very enjoyable, where I know that if you visit that place, you will actually come back with more money than you arrived with, no matter how much money you spend. Now, there are some places that you can never go wrong with. Dubai, Bali, Cape Town, Miami, LA, New York, and Colombia and Medellin. All these places are places where entrepreneurs go to in order to work, meet other people, learn from other people, and just scale their businesses and focus on what's most important. But there are certain seasons, for example, from January till March, where you know that most entrepreneurs will be in Cape Town. If you look at April till July, most entrepreneurs will actually be in Bali. From June till August, you can see most entrepreneurs in Europe, especially the ones who have a lot of money, depending on the place. If you're looking at multi-millionaires who earn 7 to 10 figures a year, those people are usually in Monaco. And September till December is usually weird. So around that time, just stay at home and grind. Now the question is, well, what if I don't meet people? You will meet people. Like, you will. If you're in any kind of networking or mastermind group, you literally just need to send a message there and tell people that you are around. Then post an Instagram story where you tell people that you are around. Do everything possible in order to increase your chances of actually meeting one person. Once you meet one person, you're good to go because that person knows people, and then you're getting invited to the first event, the first dinner, and suddenly you're going to reach dozens and dozens of entrepreneurs. When I was in Bali, I was literally invited to an event or a dinner or a meeting or a personal one-on-one dinner every single evening, up until the point where I needed to say no to a lot of people because I was almost socially burnt out. But I just said no, and then I recovered for a week and everything was good. Now, the second step is actually to give value to everybody for free. The worst thing that you can do now is to sell to people, pitch to people, manipulate people, nurture people, or anything like that. You simply just give people so much value, completely free of charge, that they have no other choice but to want to work with you. The more you give, the more you get. And please avoid the pitfall of chasing clients. Desperation is the most repulsive state of a human being that one can have, whether it's in business or whether it's in dating. And now there are actually two options. Option number one is that these people will make a lot of money from the advice that you give to them. And option number B is that they don't make a lot of money from the advice that you give to them. If option number B happens, that's okay. And that's actually great because you just avoided a huge headache, because there's multiple reasons why they couldn't have made money. Either they're a client that your help doesn't apply to, for example, if they're in a special niche, or they're a client that you don't want to work with because they didn't apply the knowledge that you gave them, or your service is not good enough and you simply just need to go home, learn, and improve your service or improve your product, and that's okay. And in this case, you need to set aside your ego and look at whether it's their fault or it's your fault. Sometimes you even need to reach out to them and just ask them like, hey, like, what happened? Did you apply the things that I told you, and what happened afterwards? Not to close them, again, just to find out whether the advice that you gave them actually worked. But option number A is actually that they make a lot of money from your advice. And in that case, there are two options from here. Either they make a lot of money from your advice and they have you in the back of their mind as literally the best at what you're doing, and the next time that they find out that somebody needs your services, they will recommend you to them. Not out of goodwill, but actually just because it builds them a very good reputation and gives them status. If I'm going to recommend you a book and that book is a very helpful book, then that's going to give me status because I just helped you out a lot with knowledge that I already had before you. And that's the same with services. So the person that you helped will benefit from helping you get more clients. On the other hand, the second option, which is actually way more likely, is that the person did make a lot of money from your advice and then does want to work with you. And in this case, it's actually quite simple. Why? If I'm going to give you knowledge in a 10 to 20 minute conversation, and from that 10 to 20 minute conversation, you end up making $10,000, why would you not pay me $9,000 in order for me to consult you for the next 2 to 3 months? Obviously, you're going to do that because you know that you're going to make a lot of money. Now, some people may not need your advice, and these are people who are way more ahead of you. And in that case, you want to listen and learn. You must understand that no matter how good you are, you will always need to learn something from somebody from somewhere. And you will always need to improve your service, improve your product, because it's never perfect. And if you stop learning, you will be overrun by your competition. You either grow or you shrink. That's it. So let other people spot the gaps in your knowledge once you give them your knowledge and your free advice, so that they can then help you fix that service by you now knowing what you miss in order to help that person, and then you catch up on that knowledge. That's the best way to learn something, actually. Because if you're just gonna read books every here and there and just read random books, that's gonna help you in some way for general knowledge. But if you know exactly what you need to fix, learning something actually now has a 10x result on making money or fixing the problem that you want to fix. This is exactly how you become the best at what you do. Not by sitting alone in your room, thinking and ruminating and trying to fix everything on your own. You need other people who spot your gaps. You need other people who call you out on your BS. Now, when you go home, which will eventually happen, because after a while you will want to go home because you're going to be tired of meeting all the people and traveling, and you're going to want to sit at home, have perfect sleep, a perfect diet, have your supplements again, and wear your Oura ring again, and literally just put your head down and work, and you won't want to talk to anybody anymore. That's normal. And in that phase is when you improve your service, improve your product, and take all the knowledge, all the impressions, and all the BS that people called you out on and fix it. So you improve your product and you provide results to the people that you got to know when you were traveling. Now, the fifth step is actually one of the most important steps, because this is where revenue actually kicks in and you make the most money out of it. When you do cold outreach, You follow up on people. And if you did cold outreach, you know that following up on people is actually the number one way to make the most money. And you're probably leaving like 20 to 30% of the money that you could make on the table if you're not following up on people. It's the same here, but it's a little different. The way you follow up on people is not by reaching out to them, but by staying on top of their mind through putting out content. A lot of people think that in order to make money with content, you need to go viral or you need to blow up on social media. Don't get me wrong. One YouTube video that goes viral or the right Instagram reel that goes viral can change your life. It's happened to my clients multiple times. I had a client who was 19 years of age, making like 4K a month, was at 40,000 followers. And then we released Instagram reels and YouTube videos. One Instagram reel blew up, one YouTube video blew up, and suddenly we were at $120,000 a month just by selling courses. So yes, definitely. But you can make a lot of money without blowing up as well. Once you connect with these people and they usually follow you on Instagram, like usually, you can now put out content that is going to help them even more in order to stay top of their mind. These people now know you and they like you and they know you personally and they trust you way more than any other person that they met on the internet. If you now help them even more through putting out content that is genuinely helpful and valuable, that is how you follow up on people actually. Because if you post a YouTube link in your Instagram story, which I'm going to post this video on my Instagram story as well, these people will actually get a lot of knowledge and a lot of value, and they might then end up working with you. So don't forget this step. It's probably one of the most important steps ever. In this case, it's probably 40 to 50% of the money that you could make. And if you don't have a camera, just use your iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, buy an iPhone and stop using your Android. But if you don't want to talk in front of a camera, grow up. Because you're missing out on a lot of money, and we're seeing it right now that cold ads are actually not performing as well as personal brands or organic content. Somebody who has an organic personal brand is going to outperform you by miles and miles and miles with organic content, and that is going to stay. So catch up on that and start putting out content. And if you have real social anxiety and you can't put yourself in front of a camera because of some personal reason, maybe you're being hunted by Interpol or something, if that is the case, just don't put out videos and start writing. Start posting on Twitter and lead people from Instagram to your Twitter, or start writing a newsletter and lead people from Instagram to your newsletter. That's also a way of delivering value. Having a newsletter of 100 people can literally make you a millionaire. Anyways, if you want to get clients the way I just explained it to you and the way I do it myself, which is literally by becoming a client magnet, I'll leave a link in the description for you to book a call with me. I only work with established entrepreneurs who can prove to me that their service actually made their clients a lot of great results. Because if your service sucks, I don't want to help you get clients. I'm going to take on 2 people, that's it. Not because I have limited spots or anything, but just because I haven't built the systems yet to take on even more clients. No hard feelings if not. I hope I could help you. Bye-bye.